tag team with Steven. We have trouble with the system or something.
Hey, sir. How you doing? I'm Carson. Nice to meet you. Yes, sir. Come on back here. Last step.
Okay.
You have a seat on the green couch.
Okay, thank you.
You do these focus groups and things often?
No, sir. No, this is actually my first time.
Really?
Yes, sir.
How'd you hear about it?
Actually, I saw like one little advertisement, so I said, well, let me check out the email or whatever. And then, they started sending me studies as far as different events that you guys have, and so then on top of that, I actually read the survey and everything, but it's like I never got contacted. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it one more try and see how it works. And next thing you know, I got a phone call. So I was like, okay.
Okay. So you know why you're here?
Yes, sir. For this study?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know what the study's about?
Yes, sir. About running shoes?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you just came off the iPad in there, and it had a bunch of different concepts.
Yes, sir.
What did you think of those?
Oh, it's pretty nice. Earlier, talking to Steve, I was telling him the same thing as far as with shoes. And I was just explaining to the girls, like, when you go into the store, I mean, it's different than purchasing shoes online. Like, say, for instance, I like to go into the store because you have the person that's actually, like, the salesperson and actually know the detail about the shoes. I mean, it's still just putting on a shoe versus, like, when you get it online, say, for instance, if I want some Jordans and I get these Jordans, I mean, I like to know how it fits and feel and walk around the store for about like maybe 5 minutes with both of them on to get the feel of the shoe versus just saying, okay, I'm just buying it for the name and the price. So, I mean, I was just explaining to them, like, basically, even though, I have kids, and with the kids, even though I know their size, if I'm at the store, like I told her, I bought some shoes from Journeys, like some Vans. Now, I know my kid's size, but, different shoes fit completely different, like Chucks are completely different than Sperry's and stuff like that. So, I just like to have hand-on experience with putting on shoes.
Okay. There were a couple of concepts in there around shopping.
Yes, sir.
One of them was this in-store, and you selected that.
Yes, sir.
There were a couple others where one was where they would send you a box.
Yes, sir.
And you could try things on and then just send back what you don't want.
Right, yes, sir.
What did you think about that concept?
That's pretty nice. But at the same time, what is the chances of, okay, saying, for instance, I get all these shoes and I don't like them and I'm sending them all back, when versus I can just like actually go to the store, pick out whichever ones I want to pick, and I can leave up out of there with it. You know what I'm saying? Because that first-hand experience instead of saying, okay, well, I try this on, I don't like this, send it back, and then you get another one, the same thing,
Okay. And then there was one in there around a membership. What did you think about that one?
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Okay, what did you interpret that as being?
You talking about the one as far as like if you run a mile or?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Because you get an actual, once you put the shoe on and you actually performing in it, it will be able to tell, you can tell the difference. Like I was telling Steve earlier too, working out on the treadmill and running versus on pavement is completely different. So, I just like the feel of the shoe, and like you're saying, like with the memory foam or whatever type sole that they have, basically, for the support, you know what I'm saying? Because if you know that you're going to be like walking shoes, running shoes, it's all different, you know what I'm saying? Because if I stand in Jordans all day, guaranteed my feet eventually is going to get tired and it's going to hurt. Now, if I was in like New Balance or Avius or Adidas, it wouldn't hurt as much, but at the same time, you still have a different feel. Like wearing Chucks all day, if your feet is flat and you know how Chucks are made, it's going to kill you wearing them for like 8 or 10 hours. Mm-hmm. Now, just for a fashion statement, just to wear them for a couple hours is fine. But with that, I would like it because basically I'm doing what it is that I'm supposed to do in the running shoes as far as a mile or two or whatever, and I can feel the difference as far as the experience with running shoes like that.
Okay. And
How did you interpret the pricing model would work on that concept, the membership concept?
Oh, that's nice. I mean, that I wouldn't have any problem with that at all.
Okay, how much would you pay for that membership?
I'll say about like $50.
$50?
Yes, sir.
And then there was another concept in there where the shoe store comes to your house.
That's pretty nice.
Tell me about that.
But I mean, the hassle with that is that you have to adapt your schedule. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you just say, okay, well, I'm going to the barber shop and, you know, I want to have a personal barber. Like every time when it's time for me to get my hair cut, like you just come over to my house. You know what I'm saying? Same like with the shoes. I don't think I'll be going through that many shoes within, you know, a 3 to 6 month period, you know? So, I mean, just to have someone to come out, I mean, it's a good opportunity, but as far as me, like I said, I like that on hands in the store, you know, type. I can just go to the store and say, okay, well, hey, here it is. I got it, you know.
Okay. And then there was some, well, actually, let me start with, what does the word personalized mean to you?
Basically, I would say as far as someone like actually saying like, Carson, these are Carson shoes. This is something that you basically design or you came up with and it belongs to you.
How do you imagine it would be designed for you?
That would be kind of hard. And the reason I say that is for the simple fact that with my foot, I mean, it's small, but then at the same time, it's kind of narrow. So as far as someone actually designing a shoe for me, or if I was doing it myself, I would have to go into, you know, basically like the question that was asked, like with the width, the length, and stuff like that. I would have to have, you know, the specs to the right point. So for me to wear, you know, like somebody else's shoes that's personalized from them, I mean, it would be kind of hard because all of our feet are not the same. You know what I'm saying? So I just can't, you know, something like that register and say, okay, well, I can put on just anybody's shoes.
What if I were to tell you that a shoe brand, unnamed, has found a way through the use of genetics to understand the exact dimensions and needs of your feet? And you would simply have to submit a saliva sample with your DNA, and they could create personalized midsoles and shoes based on your foot.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I'll be down for that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What goes through your mind when you think about that?
Well, when I think about that, that's just like, say for instance, as an example, you know, like the little test that you can send out and you do what you just said,
Yeah.
like you take the swab and it tells you your whole background or your history of, you know, where your parents and grandparents and all that.
Yeah.
Same like with a shoe. I mean, if they did design a shoe like that, it would be awesome because, I mean, you want to know, I mean, by just swabbing or something like that, and they can come up with something like that, I mean, I think that's just amazing. I mean, if they can do it with, you know, DNA like that, as far as telling you your heritage, I don't see why not with a shoe, you know?
Have you ever done that for heritage, DNA for your heritage?
No, sir. No.
Okay. Do you know any companies that do it?
Yes, sir.
Which ones?
She just caught me off guard with that.
It's okay.
Oh, goodness. Man, I just lost my train of thought. But
It's
yeah.
okay. Just think about, like, maybe, like, what do these companies do?
What do they do?
Yeah, just tell me what they do.
No, they actually send out a box.
Yeah.
You make a payment, of course, and
Yeah.
they send out a box, and it tells you fill out like you're doing a survey. You fill out all this information, and then you actually take like a little Q-tip and you put it in your mouth, and you put it like in a little baggie. Then you submit it back to them.
Okay.
Then within, you know, like maybe a month, whatever they come up, however they do it in their office or whatever, they send the information back to you. I have family members that have done it.
Which
and I mean,
ones?
it came like 2 sisters and a brother.
Okay.
And
What did they tell you about it?
Well, actually, it came back true. I mean, well, basically down to the heritage, you know.
Yeah.
Majority of my family is mixed, so I mean, you know, I have the white side and the black side.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, how they broke it down, they said it was like, well, with my father, it's like we're 95% Caucasian, and then they said like maybe 25% African American, and then of course we have a little Asian. It was like 5%, and then it broke it down as far as like Hispanic. It was like 2%. I mean, it broke it down, and then as they did some research with the family tree or whatever, it comes out to be accurate. So I thought it was pretty amazing, but I said I just don't want to spend $100. Not saying.
Is that how much it is?
Yeah, I think it costs like $100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think this shoe company is going to charge for this shoe? It's based on your genetics.
I would say, probably say about maybe $150 if it happened.
Okay. What do you think would be the drawback to this shoe?
I'm not, how should I put it? I wouldn't think a lot of people probably be leery about it. And then once they see the results of, the clientele, how many people actually is willing to go forth and do it and not be intimidated by it, I mean, it may have good benefits. But of course, as a product like that, you hear somebody saying, okay, well, we swipe this, we do this, and you get the results out of this, they kind of hesitant to say, well, let's see how it works first. So necessarily like, let's be a guinea pig and then see actually if it actually is true to the point, and then they'll take it up on themselves.
Okay. What company do you think is going to do this?
If any, I would think like maybe P&G, Johnson & Johnson. I'm trying to think who else would have some effect. I wouldn't think that a shoe store would actually do it, because the simple fact that I would think that they will be losing a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
Well, if they in the shoe industry, as far as designing shoes and making shoes, and you have a different company that's saying, okay, well, we're going to use your genetics, or we're going to test something like this in order to create a shoe. You know what I'm saying? That's two different, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for instance, I'll give you an example. CDs. Okay? A lot of artists make CDs. Why even make CDs when you can actually go online, hit whatever, download it? You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's like, okay, well, they tell you that it's bad to download, and you have the iPad, you have the MP3 player or whatever. And a lot of people were stealing people music and still going out buying a CD. So as far as like with a shoe, I mean, you have all these shoes companies, and then you have this group over here to say, okay, we're going to do this. I mean, are they still going to be in business as far as, selling shoes? And then you have a maker that's saying, okay, we can do this with the DNA, and we can create a shoe that fits you. You know what I'm saying? But you still have all these shoes out here. What's going to happen to that business? I mean, I'm just looking at it like that. I mean, I'm just saying, I would think that, it might hurt them or it might not, because you might not have that many people to say, okay, I want a shoe that actually just fit my foot, or this is for me. And like I said, a lot of people, they like shoes for, different sporting events or different events that they have in their life, like walking, running, track, soccer. I mean, you have all those like cleats and stuff like that. But then at the same time, you have more of a fashion, like with the younger generation. I mean, it's about the name. You have Jordan, you have LeBron, you have, Kobe, you have all these people, and it's the name that sells. You know what I'm saying? Because, I see a lot of people that still are wearing Jordans now. They wear LeBron or Ewings, or, or Chuck Taylors or Vans or something like that. And it takes away from actually what the shoe is intended for. You know what I'm saying? Because some people saying, okay, well, I'm wearing basketball shoes because Jordan, actually, this is a Jordan shoe. But basically, all you're doing is actually paying because it's his name. But is that actually for fashion, or is it for basketball? Now, there may be some that's actually fit for basketball, but the majority of them that I see, like even I wear, mainly it's a fashion statement. Like, okay, well, I'm paying, $250 for some Jordans. I mean, back in the day, I would pay, I don't know your age, But you know, they used to have like when Jordan came out, like just about every other month, he would come out with a shoe, and you had like the briefcase. You had, you know, it came with something to get you. And I mean, you're not just paying. I mean, like I said, for some running shoes, I would pay close to maybe $300 to $500, because if I can pay, you know, $700 or $400 for some Jordans, I mean, something that I know that I'm gonna run and do, you know, throughout the rest of my life to stay fit or whatever, I would do that. But just to wear them as a fashion, I can't see it. You know.
Okay, so let's just say that you get this DNA shoe.
Okay.
I want you to think about that. So now you have this DNA shoe. How would that change how you shop for shoes?
How will it change? I would say that.
How do you imagine you would go about getting shoes after that?
I don't know. I would think that first I would see how it fits, and if it actually fit, of course I'll be willing to go ahead and continue to get the shoe and do it. Now, if I want some shoes just for recreation or whatever, then I would like I said, basically just go to the store and just purchase some shoes, just random shoes. But with the comfort of a genetic shoe, it might be a little different, unless they can come up with the same type style of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And see how that transpired with the genetics. But if it's strictly genetic and it's only designed for me, with that other artist or whomever, I don't know how that shoe would be. So it would be completely different, you know?
Well, we talked about, you know, streaming versus CDs, right? So it's
Yes,
kind
sir.
of shifting. So imagine if this DNA, and you try it and it fits,
Yes, sir.
okay? And you feel satisfied with that.
Uh-huh.
And then you could apply that fit to any shoe you want.
Okay.
How would you then shop?
Oh, I love it. I'll be shopping all every day, just about every other month.
Where would you shop? How would you go about finding out the next shoe you're going to get if you know what the fit is going to be?
If I know what the fit is, how am I going to go about shopping?
Yeah.
I mean, that would just be simple. I mean, if I already know my shoe and the fit of the shoe, I wouldn't have no problem, because I already know, like, hey, everything that I do is going to fit. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind, something like that. Oh, yeah. I love that.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Stephen.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate your time, man.
No
Thanks
problem.
for coming
Thank
in.
you. Yes, sir.
We
Thank you.
enjoyed
Thank
having you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, just head out left down the hallway.
Okay, thank you.
And then right at the end.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
take
you.
care,
Yes,
bud.
sir.
Oh, hey, Stephen.
Yes, sir.
Can I get a picture of you real quick? Sorry, I meant to get a picture. Just right here is fine.
Right here.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay,
Thank
now
you.
you can go.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Can you get another picture of him?
I did. Yeah.
Because I kind of did some of this stuff.
I just did it with the camera on the sofa.
Myself.
So you want the Polaroid?
Oh, I did it with the Polaroid.
Yeah. So we'll get a Polaroid in that one. That's a higher resolution. It's already got it.
Okay, so you both. Okay, that was so well then. I was just wasn't sure if you were doing that with the Polaroid there.
No, no, no.
I was like, why?
I'll let you guys do the Polaroid.
Okay.
you over to Rosanna and Kara, and they're going to take you through an interactive question and answer. All right? Nice to meet you too. Hey.
Steven was funny next.
What'd you say?
Steven was funny.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, what's going on here?
Robin's here.
Okay, thank you.
First one's always just ugly, and then it just feels a lot better, smoother.
Really different first. Awesome. Cool.
Are you good? You never know.
Hi, Tricia. I'm Carson. Nice to meet you. Come on back. One more stop. How's it going today?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. You can just have a seat on the green couch. Do you do a lot of these?
No.
No? How'd you hear about this?
We have, the company I work for has an office in North Carolina, and I saw the 704 to 740 area code from the recruiter call, and I thought it was somebody at our office. So I just answered, and then she goes, "We're doing one about running," and I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." So I think I did one maybe 3 or 4 years ago, but that's about it. But so I accidentally answered, but it was no big deal. I was like, "Yeah, I have availability that day, so it's fine."
And now you're here.
Yeah. So
Well, we're glad
whatever.
you're here. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
So you just went through a kind of an interactive prototype in there, and it had some concepts in it. Did any of those kind of spark your interest or surprise you at all?
No, I think, well, when I was talking to the guy from the first round, we were talking about how I saw Amazon recently started offering you can wear shoes and then return them for 7 days. So when I saw that it was asking about, do you want to, would you rather have a shoe expert come to your house or go to a store to meet with somebody? I was like, I that customization of someone actually going to your house. Kind of was like seemed like it was kind of along the lines of where that they're going to try to reach out and have people try new things. I just am kind of weird about people coming to my house.
What
That's
about
just me.
that?
What's that?
Why are you weird about that?
I just think inviting strangers into my house is just, I kind of get anxious, like, okay, is my house clean? You know, my dogs, like the other variables that when somebody's coming to your house versus going somewhere. So I'd rather just go somewhere. It's kind of like hosting a party, not even though, it's not to the same extent. It's a lot easier to bring something and go to someone else's house and clean your own house and worry about your dogs and everything like that beforehand. So that's kind of where I was like, yeah, I don't know. Well, that was my idea.
Yeah. What do you think if what if it were like a truck that pulled up and it was a mobile store and it was in your driveway?
Yeah.
And you could go out into that.
I would probably be more open to that. I feel like I could see that like at offices, too. Like going to people's workplaces and hey, or outside. That would be a lot less intrusive, I guess, than actually coming into your home. I think there is something that's kind of standoffish about going to a running store and getting fitted. I've never done that before, and someone was like, well, what if they think this is my feet? I don't know, maybe that's just
tell me
my
more about
weird
that. Tell me about that. I'm interested in that.
I don't know what it is. Even I don't try on clothes at stores, so that's why I kind of get the brands that I like. I would say I'm very brand loyal and kind of order from those specific places over and over again. So when there's just something about like, okay, go run on a treadmill. With those shoes, it's just not. I don't see myself doing that.
So what do you think? Why do you think they do that?
To see how you like the shoes fit in your running form, to get an idea of what your running form is and how the shoes would fit for you in your running form and that. But
and what do you think that they're telling you about your running form?
I don't know. People tell me I have a short stride, so I'm like, I don't need to hear it again. They're like, well, you run pretty fast for how short you are, and that kind of thing. So I'm like, I don't know. And I run by myself. I feel like it's kind of my like solo activity that I kind of just do my own thing with.
And how do you purchase your running shoes today?
I would say almost always online.
Okay, and where specifically?
I was telling the guy before, honestly, I don't have a place that I go to. I literally just ordered a pair from Tactical Gear this time, but I've ordered them from Amazon, eBay, wherever I find them, where they're going to be the cheapest. So usually, I've never even heard of Tactical Gear, but they popped up that they were on sale there. Okay.
How do you find the shoes?
Usually, because I buy the same brand and version, model, I guess you would say. I usually just Google, and then I'll see the prices come up on the shopping, and then I'll start to scroll through those. But I try to wait until they do go on sale.
And what do you typically like to buy them at? What price?
Well, I was not on sale. They're usually $170. This last pair I got for like $105, and I was like, that's a steal. So typically, if I get them for $130 to $140, I'm happy with that. $170, I think, well, with plus tax and whatever, I'm like, that's getting closer to $200 for a pair of shoes, because I usually have to buy new pairs of shoes either between 3 and 4 months. It just adds up.
So $170 for a running shoe. What are you getting for $170? If you were to pay, you're paying $130, $140, but what are you getting out of that shoe?
Like, why do I buy the shoes?
Yeah, like why would you spend so much money?
I think because they have been reliable. So it's been the same shoe I've bought for the last 10 years I've been running. So I think I'm getting that reliability of the shoe that I've been able to perform decently well on my runs with the stability and the lightness. So I think, so I would say, I feel like the price has probably gone up, obviously, over the past 10 years. They probably weren't 175 years ago, but now they're at that point.
Yeah. If there were a shoe for $300,
No.
wait, what would it need to do? Or what do you think it would do?
For $300, it would have to last a lot longer than 3 or 4 months. That would be the first.
How long would it have to last?
Probably more than 6 months. I'd say minimum 6 months. That's probably the one thing I struggle with running shoes as much, is because it's hard to pay for a shoe that you're like, I'm not gonna have this in 3 or 4 months. You know, so it's kind of like, even though it helps you perform well and you like they're my go-to shoes and I can't imagine running without them, I'm also like, I'm gonna not have these in 3 or 4 years. So I'm not as thrilled with the design or the look of the Mizunos. But I always think, well, in 3 or 4 months I'll get a new pair and I can change the color or get the new model. So that's kind of where when I buy them, that's how I feel. Some years they've had some like god awful colors, and I'm like, oh well, what happened? So, but they've been reliable, so that's why I keep going back to buy them.
Okay. Can you imagine any other feature that this $300 shoe would have?
I mean, I don't want to say make you fly, but I would hope that they would like really fit you to be the best runner that you could be.
And what would that be? What would be the best runner you could be?
I don't know. I think just based on your history, and I don't know. Like I was telling, like I was close to running or qualifying for Boston the last time I did a marathon. So I would want that shoe to really help me to go over that benchmark, because that's how I would see myself performing the best. Just really like, I mean, there's so many, people have so many different forms and how they hit the floor and their strides. So really the shoe that would adapt to those different needs.
So let's say that this $300 shoe, okay, there is a company, and I won't speak their name, has an idea or a concept where they can actually take your genetics and use that to create a personalized support in the shoe. So it's really based off of you as an individual. But they would need a saliva sample of your DNA, and they would use the certain chromosomes that help them identify how to build an insole for you. What is your immediate thought about that?
I guess my immediate thought is I don't know how my DNA would tell you how I run, because I just know, like, if I have a little injury here and there, that my stride's off. So, like recently I stubbed my left toe, and I was like, I could tell my stride was like, my other leg was trying to adapt to that because I was running on that toe weird. Like, I don't know, so my question is, I know, like, saliva analysis can tell you a lot, but then I wonder, like, would it adapt for those certain, like, kinds of situations? That if you have a tight hip and your form's off, that's the shoe. So maybe, I don't know, maybe your DNA can do that things. I don't know.
Okay, there's another company that has created these force plates, and you go into a certain location and you would run across these force plates. and they're so high powered that they're able to really understand every bit of how you move in your unique way. And then the support in the midsole is then created, personalized for you using that technology.
Yeah, I would think that would be more credible from my understanding. I think that would be more something that I'd be more willing to give a try than the saliva.
What do you think would be the benefit of that shoe?
From in general, just
Yeah. So like if you were to go through it, so say you got selected to do this and you get the fourth place and you're gonna get the shoe that's
yeah.
based on how you run. What do you think it would do? What do you think it would feel like?
I don't know. I feel like the shoes would feel like I don't like not clouds, but like that you were just running on thin air. You know, like the current shoes I have. The model, there seems to be an issue that I've read about on other reviews that people said they're like the toe part was wearing out. So I started like, am I just running my toe weird? You know, so I think that would kind of, like the shoe would not have that issue because it would know how you hit strike. You know, if your ankle or your form's a little off, I think it would be able to form that. So, I mean, it seems like it would be like ideal. For a runner to have a shoe that would be able to help that. Even when your shoelaces are tied too tight, I mean, there's so many different variables with shoes that I've noticed on runs that if it's a half size too big, sometimes it causes something goofy. You know, different brands have different shoe sizes, so like every so often I'll kind of just wear a pair around my house, and I'm like, I know I should have did that. And then I like the next day I'm like, my feet feel weird because I ran in different running shoes the day before. So not having those like little quirks to say would be ideal.
Okay. Ideal enough for you to pay that money?
Yeah, I mean if they lasted longer than 3 or 4 months and closer to 6 months, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned you went through the interactive app and some of the results came back. One is that, well, let me ask you first, what is the most important role of a running shoe? What does it have to do to be a good shoe for you?
Probably the stability of it.
Yeah. And then you had selected the membership idea for a shopping experience.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about what that meant to you?
Well, I just, like, especially once I find a shoe that I like, I'm like, okay, if it just automatically shipped to me every time saying, okay, you've ran this many miles, the shoe is probably due for a new one, and it went ahead and there was some discount to the shoes because you reorder them every so often, I was like, well, then I don't have to worry about price shopping. Or like Googling, oh, like, okay, I think it's about that time, okay, let me go look and see where I can buy them from. If there was some type of like convenience to that, and that you were able to just have them shipped, and they would be at a price point that you'd be willing to pay. It would just take out the ease of it.
Okay. When I say the word customization, what does that mean to you?
To your liking completely, yeah.
If I say the word personalization, what does that mean to you?
I kind of feel like creation, like you're creating it.
Awesome. Thank you. That's all I need.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It was great to meet you. I just need to get one picture of you.
Okay.
You just stay right there. This real quick. You can just sit down real quick.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Okay. 1, 2. Perfect. Okay, you're done.
Awesome.
Thank you. Great to
Thank
meet
you.
Yeah, just head out on the left to the end of the hall and then hang right.
Got it.
Okay. Have a great day. stop. How are you doing today? Good. Yeah, you just have a seat on the green couch there.
Okay.
Have you done many of these?
Some, not where I'm videotaped as much.
Really?
I don't like those so much.
It's all internal. Don't stress about it. We just go back and watch it so we remember what we talked about.
Yeah.
But it's just the concepts we're just
Yep.
interested in. Okay. So you just went through a kind of an interactive app in there.
Mm-hmm.
Anything in there catch your interest or seem different?
I'm a member of lots of the clubs where they auto ship stuff, and so it's never dawned on me about running shoes before. I'm super picky about my running shoes, so although I like the concept of it and I thought it was neat, I think it would have to, I'd have to go through a long string of having it super customized before I thought being delivered to my house would meet all my needs. I don't know, it's a catch-22. There's part of me that loves going into the store and trying on all different kinds of shoes and being able to run out on the street with them and leaving knowing that I have the perfect shoe, but at the same time, it's so time-consuming. And then lots of times, even though it felt good running 15, 20 minutes in that shoe, once you're in your own environment running for a much longer period of time, the shoe, you find out it's not what you thought it was. So I don't know. I'd still at this point, my premise would be, I think the only way I could get the shoe I needed would be the store experience.
Can you take me through what that experience is in the store?
Usually it's going in, doing, I don't know what you call it, but when they put you on the treadmill and they watch you, and then the foot analysis where you see where your pronation is, etc. And then just bringing out like 10 boxes of shoes. So, I mean, it's not like something you could run in and say, I'm going to run in and grab a pair of shoes. I feel like I have to set aside at least a half a day if I'm going to go in and buy a pair of shoes I haven't had before. So that's usually why once I find a shoe that fits my needs, I will stick with that shoe until they change it or quit making it, or I find the quality starts going down.
What would you say you like the best about the in-store experience?
Usually if you go to the right store, the knowledge of the staff, because once I find a shoe that I like, I usually don't research and keep up to date on the latest technology. So I'll go in and just expect to get the shoe I had before, and they can say, hey, we've got this new brand or this new this updated technology, why don't you try out this compared to what you're used to? And then every once in a while I'm able to discover a new brand or a new shoe that I like better than what I've had.
Can you tell me about that? When does that happen, or what was going through your mind when that happened?
That's kind of, it's an aha moment that's like, hey, don't sit behind your computer and keep ordering the exact same shoe, because I don't replace my shoes probably as often as I should, and I've had both my knees reconstructed and have back problems, so support and cushioning in a shoe is really important. So when they make advances in the technology of the running shoes, I'm usually sticking with what I know and what I love, so I'm not researching it or trying to find anything new. So it's an aha moment when the staff is able to, that's their job, and they introduce me to something new or tell me why this is better for my condition than what I've previously been using.
Okay. Now tell me about a poor experience, or what you like least about it.
Well, I never realized going in just to a regular sporting store how they're not knowledgeable. So they have like the very base, what I can get probably online, and what the most popular shoe is, the most popular brand. So when I come in and say I need this and this and this and this, then they just grab it off and give it to me when it's not going to meet my needs. And then probably when I moved up here is when I noticed they had specialized running stores where the people eat, drink, breathe, you know, running and the knowledge, and they run themselves, so they're out doing it, and they really take the time, and they have the knowledge, and they keep up to date on everything, and it's an experience, not just a sales transaction. And they are really there to help you find the best running shoe for your needs, and take, like I said, take the time to do that, whether it's 20 minutes or 2 hours going through every piece of inventory they have. And then getting on the treadmill and doing all of those extra things. So basically, I would say all of my experiences up to that point were poor, but I didn't know any better. And probably just somebody just trying to make just trying to make the sale. So they're just handing you a shoe, or you're walking in and saying, hey, I want this Hoka, and they just hand it to you, but they don't ask questions and say, well, you know, why do you like the Hoka so much? Oh, well, we have this new shoe. You haven't bought a shoe in 2 years, and the technology is much better, so this will meet your needs. Why don't you try this one and compare it? So running shoes are definitely an investment. I usually don't spend less than $150 on them, so I don't just want to walk in and have somebody throw me the latest and greatest.
So that sounds like the running stores, you really enjoyed that experience.
Mm-hmm.
If you could change one thing about it, what would it be?
The whole process. It's just a lengthy process. It takes upwards of half a day, and it's just, you have to plan it and set it aside, and I'm just not a very patient person. So to buy a pair of running shoes, even though I know what I need and I know that I have to go through that process, it's just, I put it off, because I just know it's going to be several hours.
Okay. Robin, one of the concepts in there was the running store comes to you. What do you think about that? Talk to me about it.
I'm not big on people coming to my house. I think it's a great concept. I feel like there would probably be an added cost in it, and I'd rather just go to the store. I think I feel more comfortable going to the store.
What if the store came to your house and it was like a truck, right? And it turns into a store.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes just to your driveway. And then you would come out, everything would be in your driveway, not in your home.
I like that better, but again, I feel like there's going to be an additional cost. Where I like to shop, I like to go out and be in a retail environment.
What if it were the same cost?
Same cost? I would try it. I think for me, it's the ability of choice. So there's going to be limitations on a mobile van coming to my house. So I know if I am in my car and I go to a retail outlet, usually there's going to be additional options within a near distance that I can drive to if I don't find what I want. And then I think also it would be usually when I'm ready to make that purchase, I'm ready then and there. And I know a lot of circumstances where you have limited inventory. It's okay, well, we're going to order this for you and you'll have it in a week or 2 weeks. And usually when I'm wanting to make that purchase, I'm wanting to make it immediately, so I don't really want to wait.
Cool. One of the other concepts was like a seasonal box that's curated for you, maybe from your favorite company or from your shoe store. Shows up each season, so spring and fall. Mess around with it, see what you like, and then you just send back what you don't, and you pay for what you keep. What do you think about that?
I do that with other things, so I do Stitch Fix and some other different things, and I find I'm wasting a lot of money doing that too, because very rarely do I find something I like, and if I do, it's just one piece. So over the long haul, it's more trouble than it's worth and probably more cost. I do feel like running items are a lot more customized than just getting the latest and greatest trendy clothing. And in regards to a shoe, there's so many things I need in a shoe. I feel like the process would have to be so customized over time. Like, I don't think it would work for me until over time it assessed all my different needs that I have in a running shoe and then started doing that. I just feel like I have so many things I need in a shoe. I just don't think I could get those in like 4 or 5 different shoes sent to me. Probably none of them would meet what I needed, unless it was something that I bought over and over again, and again I'm buying the same thing, so I don't know if there's anything better out there.
Gotcha. Okay. And then the one you selected was a membership. Tell me kind of how you interpreted that concept.
I think being rewarded for your purchases, because that's a pretty big purchase. And I am not good at buying a new shoe when the mileage hits. So usually I'm probably doing more damage. I'm paying a lot of money for a shoe, and when it's worn out, I keep running in it. So probably completely defeating the purpose of all the money I spent for all the benefits of it. So I think that it would be a good reminder to say, hey, you've hit this mileage, or you've hit this many months in our records. It's time for you to get a new shoe. But I would be also introduced to the latest and greatest, and I would be rewarded for my purchases. So again, like with the mail order thing, or the monthly shipment or whatever, you're sending it all back, so you're not accruing anything. But if I'm getting a shoe that I really like and I'm definitely going to purchase it, then I know eventually I'm going to be rewarded for those purchases.
Okay. Last part, you mentioned customized, super customized.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain what that means?
It's just, again, I need a lot in my shoe. It's very hard for me just to run out to the local sports store and buy a pair of shoes. So, you know, I do the assessments, I do the running analysis, I do all of that stuff that I feel like you can really only do in a really customized setting or a store just for running that has all of that technology.
What could a shoe do in the future that it can't do today?
Run for me, make me run. I mean, there's so many things you can put in it to track. I think what I would really like right now, and I'm sure it's out there, I just can't find it, is, you know, having something in my shoe that syncs with my music. So it plays music at my pace, whatever pace I'm running. And I haven't been able to find the perfect app that does that. So that, and then also do all the other stuff that it does do now, like your GPS and your coaching and all of that stuff. But have it all one app in your shoe that you don't have to worry about.
What if your shoe knew you better than it does today?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of, I don't know how, I mean, yes, I think it would have to go a long way, but that would be nice.
Okay, so I'm going to throw a concept at you. What if it knew you so well that it knew your DNA? And it does that because there's a company that has figured out how to link genetics with biomechanical predispositions in running. And much like you would give a swab of saliva for ancestry, you could do it for a running shoe. And that logic and that research would go into your individual midsole. What is the first thought that comes to your mind about that?
I'll believe it when I see it. I like over time, and there's so many things, like I know, you know, I go to the chiropractor and I get deep massages, and I know when I have something off like alignment wise, I'm always overcompensating. And I feel like my spine and joints are always changing. So I don't know how a shoe from Tuesday of this week, and if I'm overcompensating and I'm out of whack and whatever, Friday next week, it's going to be able to adjust to what I need at that time.
Perfect.
All
That's
right.
it.
Okay.
Thanks, Robin. That was so
All right.
awesome. We really appreciate it. Let me get one picture of you, just stay seated there.
Okay.
We're almost done. One, two. Okay. Now you're done.
All right.
All right. Have a great day. Just
Thank you.
you know how to get out. Just
Yep.
into the hallway on your right.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
See ya. Well, between 12 and 12:30, I think. A lot of our time.
Kara and Rosanna are gonna take care of you.
sure they do something that they like to. I think it's just, yeah, I'm not on call. Thanks. They also have fruit or coleslaw. Still want chips?
Can I do chips and fruit? Just add it on.
Sure.
Thank you. Anthony, how's it going? I'm Carson. Nice to meet you. Come this way. Last stop. You just have a seat on the green couch. Okay. All right, Anthony. So you just went through a interactive iPad thing. Any of the concepts in there spark your interest or seem different or unique?
Well, think about it. Like I know nowadays it's all about, well, not all about, but I see a lot of what do they call it, like in home things shipped to you, as in like clothes. Try on clothes, you like them, you don't like them, bring them back. You know, shoes. Well, not shoes, but I saw that when that related to shoes. Every month you get shipped to you. You like them. You keep them, you return the ones you don't like. It's hard because clothes is different. Clothes you could try on and wear, you know, then put it away and wear a different time. I mean, shoes, it seems like on your feet, it's a different story. Running really is like based off of, you know, a lot of activity, movement. I mean, and your feet have to be comfortable. Trying on a pair of shoes, having a couple pair of shoes. It's an interesting idea. I had to see it and work first, because going to a specialty store, ones I usually picked on there was going to a person and talking to them, because the person's an expert, person you know about running shoes, and be able to give you the right knowledge. The one I also liked was kind of in the middle of that, like, is the person came to you. So hopefully that person's got to be a running expert. It can't be some random person they just hired. You have to have some experience in the running field to bring you a different pair of shoes. Maybe you like selected some, or somehow preconceived notion of what you want, so he's not coming with random shoes that you don't want. I saw it, like, says a mobile, so maybe I have a truck or something like that of different shoes. So hopefully he's got to have good selection. Lots of choices, and if he can't get what you want, maybe order something to come see you again, or a couple styles so they could order you and see you again. But that's an interesting thing. Like I said, it's got to be a person who knows about running, and that could be a good concept.
Why does there need to be a person who knows about running?
Because honestly, even if I know about running, maybe the next person doesn't, who does this program, mobile shoes shipping thing. So if I don't know about shipping, or I don't know about running, and I try this, and if he doesn't know about running, well, then what's the point? No one's giving me any advice about what to do. If I'm new at this, I want to know some knowledge about running and what shoe is best for me. Because I can pick any shoe, but if I'm running and my feet are hurting, I don't know why, it's just a waste of money on all ends.
What would be best for you?
As in what?
What are the differences in shoes that would be best for a certain individual?
I mean, the terrain the terrain you always run on, if it's always hills, or if it's just track, or if it's somewhere in the middle. I mean, like honestly, if you have wide feet or normal feet, that's a big difference. A lot of times, some shoes don't have wides, but some people do. Some people need wide shoes.
And why is that important?
Because if a tight shoe, too tight, your feet are going to be hurting even before you get started, and it's not good to begin with. Like, I have a person who I run with sometimes, and he has wide feet. And he especially orders his from the I guess he gets running store or something like that. And if he didn't have those, if he had normal, just if it was narrow shoes, running shoes run narrow anyway. So if he had a regular size shoe, it wouldn't be good for him. And he wouldn't get no benefit out of that. He's got to have a certain style, a certain width to his shoes.
What does it feel like when the shoe doesn't fit the width of your foot?
Well, it feels like it's constraining. You want it to where when you're running, it's like you're light on your feet. If a shoe's too tight, you know you already have pain. You don't want pain to begin with. Of course, there'll be some after you run pain or strain from you running at the end, but you can't have that to begin with. No, it's a terrible thing.
You mentioned to Steve personalization. What does that word mean to you?
To choose what you want. I mean, to choose some of the aspects of the shoe to make it how you want. Maybe I'll say whether it be color or style, narrow or normal or wide with shoes. Just to be able to choose what you want, even if it's small as just your color, or be able to maybe personalize your name on the side. That's a benefit people like. They want to be unique, stand out from other people, not get the same shoe everybody else is getting. So that's important.
And why do you want to be unique and stand out?
Because I want. I mean, it'd be cool if people know it's your shoes. If you're like if you run with other people, and I don't be like everybody else. I want to have my own style.
What is your style?
I mean, I like my running shoes. I like bright colors. It'd be cool to have I don't have them, but if you had your name on your shoes, that'd be kind of neat, and yeah, kind of stuff.
What would your name on the shoe? What would that do for you?
I don't know, just once again, make it uniquely mine. I don't know how to say it, but just be different from everybody.
What would you say is the most important role of a running shoe?
Durability. You have to have it last, because if you're throwing down $200 or more for a running shoe, there's no point of wasting your money if it's not going to last. If you're into running consistently, then you're going to be using your shoe a lot and relying on that shoe to get what you need out of it. It's got to last for a while.
And how would you describe a shoe lasting the right amount of time?
I don't know.
How long does it need to last?
Honestly, I change my shoes at least once a year. If I'm running the whole year and consistently running like I do, at least a year. Because of course every shoe is gonna wear out, of course, but yeah.
So you mentioned to Steve that you do research online for your shoes.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? What are you researching?
A lot of customer reviews. Looking for a lot of it's really reviews. Specs of the shoe, about if it comes in narrow or it comes in wides. What new I guess, technology or what new features the shoes I'm looking at offer, price, compared to like what it would be at a running store.
What sort of features do you look for, or are you wanting to see? What are you wanting to find?
I'm looking to find like what's the insole made out of, what's the outsole and insole made out of, what material. Looking for how long it's been on the market, that particular shoe. I'm looking for what's it mainly used for. You know, if it's for all terrain, if it's for cross training, if it's for just track running, just other things.
And where do you go to find this?
I usually just honestly I go to Google and just type in customer review, running shoe reviews. I can't remember the sites offhand, but there's a couple sites that pop up normally that I've seen a lot of people go to, and just kind of follow those and see what's going on and see what kind of different products they have out right now.
Can you tell me one thing that if you see it on a review or on a product description where it's a definite no?
Anything with like it has to be anything with a mesh is good. Anything with a leather, like a leather top or any kind of leather on the top of the shoe. The bottom is rubber usually, but anything with leather I don't want. It's too hot. It's too binding. I've got to be able to, the mesh helps your feet breathe better. That's mainly a no for me with any kind of leather.
And you mentioned that you had bought shoes at the local running store, the Running Spot.
Mm-hmm.
How was that experience?
Very good. I mean, I got lucky because the owner helped me, but he also has employees there that are runners, and they can talk to you one-on-one about what they go through or what they looked at with a running shoe. So it's good to have that, once again, knowledgeable expertise. Whether you be an experienced runner where you already know what you want, and they may not even have to help you, but it's all about if you're somebody new or still have questions, you can ask somebody and they know what you're talking about. That's how I go from a mall and just picking out something and not knowing if it's good or not. I don't have to keep having to go back and forth. If I was doing a mall or some department store, going back and forth and trying to find different shoes, that's just a waste of time for me. I want to go to a place, knowledgeable people, find the right shoe, and be done with it.
Okay. What would be one thing that you would change about it or improve about that experience? You could do anything.
To be able to try them out, like as in like a 7-day trial thing. They don't really have it there, like a 7-day trial period to try the shoe out if you like it or not.
And what would you know after 7 days that would give you the information?
If I said run 3-4 times in a week, so I would know by that in 7 days I would know if that shoe would be good for me. I would know if it causes any pain after I run, if it's comfortable. I usually know within that week if it's going to work or not. Once you break it in, kind of see how it fits to your foot and how it is especially after you run. If your feet are hurting, in a bad way, then it's not going to work. They're always going to be that way. So it's just a comfortable, after you run is important.
If you had the ability to personalize or alter anything on the shoe aesthetically, what would you want to be able to control?
So not as in like, so the design or cosmetic wise or just
yeah, anything that affects the way it looks visually.
I don't know. Visually, I just say I don't know. I mean, just basically be able to choose your colors, or that's how it would affect it. Maybe able to choose any kind of colors you want. So that's what I think. Looking wise, I could what I think of. Yeah.
And when you think about choosing your colors, take me into how you would like to do that. Like, how would you like that experience to be?
Instead of like having you like only choose gray or black or whatever, I like to have like a, what do they call it, like a palette, one of those circle thing with all the shades, and you could choose what you want, mix colors and add colors, and get exactly kind of a style you want. I haven't really seen that nowhere that much.
Does it sound better for you to be able to do it all by yourself, pick every part of the color, or would you rather have somebody who knows your style and offers suggestions based on who you are, a designer per se?
The second one, because if they get to know me and know my style, they could see things that I maybe couldn't see. So yes, if they get to know me off the bat, no. But eventually, if they got to know my style or whatever, they saw things that I had chosen in the past, or some kind of maybe they saw what I had previously history of me buying. Yeah, it'd be cool. Because I've always thought about that. Like I never had, but if you had like in a department store like a personal shopper, it's very interesting to me. If I ever got one, like at a nice department store, it's cool to have. So in addition to that, running thing would be a good thing too.
Can you tell me what would be a personal shopper? What would they do for you?
Look for brands that you're interested in. Maybe they are able to look or get to places or see merchandise that you're not able to see. They can show you exclusively to you, and basically just looking out for your needs. You're looking out for what you want.
Anthony, when you imagine this experience with a personal shopper, can you just kind of walk me through what's in your head, what the experience would be like?
I don't know. I guess you would. I'm thinking about two ways. One, if it's, I don't know, it would be online, or I don't know if it would be at a store. I mean, if it was like at a store, it would meet you at the whatever, running store or whatever, something. They would meet you at the place, and they would have some samples of what they think you might like offhand. And if not, if you like those or don't, then you also could go to the store and they could show you different things that they would choose. And we go kind of back and forth what I like and what they think I would like, and give you options.
What if it was online?
Like how either they would possibly send you emails maybe, or text messages off your phone, or even maybe even webcam maybe. I don't know. It could be at a store, and you could be at home, so you wouldn't have to leave. And they could show you shoes. That'd be cool.
Awesome. Thanks, Anthony.
No problem.
We really appreciate it.
No problem.
Let me get one picture of you. If you don't mind, just sit down real quick, and I'll
Sure.
get you sitting. And all right. 1, 2. Okay. All right. You're all done.
All right.
Off the hot seat. We appreciate you coming in.
No problem. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you can hang a left, go down the end of the hall, take a right. Cool. You're out here. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks. One, you send majors, add Patrick to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I'm going to do Larry too. Yeah, Larry. And then I'm going to take off because I'm at that meeting at noon.
Yeah.
So do you want to do Stephen and Jim?
Yeah.
Forget about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the key though is we need you to send out the one-pager. So
Yeah.
maybe going in, once you finish the interview, you can go in, get the page, and then take the reader. You should have enough time. I've been finishing up before we finish the app. That makes sense.
What are you saying with the
So-
finish the interview with them?
Yeah, so for instance, on Christine,
Mm-hmm.
you'll go in and do what you've been doing,
Mm-hmm.
and then, but you would take her, you go get the one-pager,
Yeah,
and then
come
just
back
take
in.
her and get it.
Yeah.
Then the next one, you go back in, see the result, print the page, and come back in here.
Okay.
And then we have
How
our
much time?
15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
You don't try to get everything.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. I
Get,
kind
get
of
to a couple
observed
good
that.
things and 15, 20 minutes. I usually fill a page.
Okay.
Notes. But yeah,
Okay.
cool. Feel good about it.
I feel okay. I mean, it's
Yeah.
my first time, so I just like, I always get this way whenever I do something for the first time.
Just
But I'll be fine.
yeah. There's no right way to do it. Anything is good information. Anything that sounds interesting, just try to be in the moment and ask a lot of whys. Let them talk to you. It's not about you talking to them, right? So get them talking, open-ended questions.
Wow.
Take me here, explain this. You know, how would you? Why would you? And then and that'll keep you in the moment and presence. They're trying to figure out what the next question's going to be.
Okay.
So, and that's fine.
Okay.
No big deal. Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right. So I'll be Larry. Hey Larry. I'm Carson. Nice to meet you. Come on back with me. One last stop. Okay.
Do you mind if I quickly grab this photo of you real quick?
There you go. That's a good one. Go back to that pose, Larry.
Oh, no, it's just for our collection. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna be on Instagram. No Facebook, nothing.
I've been on Facebook for like a year trying to help somebody asked me one day on what would there was Sears and I knew the girl working and she says, are you a techie? I thought, So I know who Spock and Kirk are, but I don't know anything else. It's bad too. So she said, "Can you help me get on Facebook?" So next thing I know, I had like 80 friends. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, Larry, come on in. Have a seat on the green couch.
The green.
The green couch. Is that what you would call that color?
You got a camera.
Maybe an
What kind of
aquamarine.
camera do you have?
Same one they've got in there. Nothing special.
Yeah, but you hang on to them. It'd be worth all the money. That's what we're talking.
That's a good point. That's a
Well,
good
the
point.
first one they were.
Well, we see this one. Look
Canon's
at this
gonna
one.
quit making.
Let's look at this camera.
That's a camera.
Yeah.
I thought it was a speaker.
No, that's a camera. Larry, do you do these often?
No, not really. I mean, they're fun. When I was in college, my first year I took a marketing class, and it was fun. I did great at it. And one thing KU, the teacher said, "You're doing great." He said, "But I wouldn't get into this unless you're planning on moving to New York, because there's no money to be made here." Okay, I was into that. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of fun to
Yeah.
participate in the marketing thing.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you doing it.
Okay, thanks.
What did you gather that we're interested in today?
Shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What specifically about them?
Oh, different options on how I would buy them or what I would use as far as like a membership card, or have them shipped to my house and ship them back, which is I've had that offer from a sporting goods company, but I've never done it.
What company was that?
I want to say it's like Fanat. No. Heckler. Yeah, I get all.
What did they do? Heckler?
No, Hat Club. HAT.
Oh, Hat Club.
Yeah.
And what was the offer?
I'd send you a bunch of sizes, because it's like shoes, I guess. You think you know your size, but maybe you want to try this different brand or whatever, and that size and that shoe or that brand doesn't fit the same as the other one. So they would send you like 5, because they sold New Era calves, which I kind of collect with my shoes. I've got like 50 pairs of tennis shoes, gym shoes, whatever we call them. They would send you like 3 or 4 different size options or whatever, and you would get the one that you wanted and send the rest back. So I've never done it though.
Why not?
I've never had a problem before. Plus, I don't know. I didn't investigate it. I was just wondering what kind of fee would be involved in something like that, because I guess I'm from an older generation where I paid $20 to have a try-on session and send it back, or is it going to cost me money to send it back, or how much is it going to be? How much trouble is it going to be? Is there insurance shipping involved? And might get smashed. I've had stuff smashed sent to me.
So what is your preferred method of shopping?
Stores.
Why is that?
I like to look. I like to see it. I like to try it on. I like to touch the materials. And I order online all the time on something I'm familiar with.
What would that be?
Well, hat would be one thing. Yeah, 'cause I know the New Era caps, what size I wear, what the material is, things like that. Because I've seen them in stores. I mean, I know I'm kind of talking like and I'm picking on this company because I know people have done it. I've read in the paper, Best Buy, where they go in there and they check out the options on a certain size TVs they're interested in, and then they buy it from Amazon. So, But I like.
Steve told me that you will not buy on Amazon.
I didn't say it. I said I didn't want to pick on Amazon. I just said I like to see the stuff, and I feel bad if I went to I would feel bad if I went to a Best Buy and got all the information I needed and then bought it on Amazon. I don't have a problem buying with Amazon, but something like I would have it with running shoes, I guess. I would like to see the running shoe, I like to touch the running shoe, I like to feel the running shoe. I wouldn't like to just look at a picture online and then order it. I guess that was what I was trying to say to Steve. I guess, you know.
So Larry, can you talk to me about that? So why do you want to touch and feel the shoes? Why do you need to see them in person?
I want to see what they look like, what the color actually is. I mean, sometimes you look at stuff, I want to see the feel, I want to see how they fit, I want to see what the, I don't know what else I want to say. That would be the most important part. Fit is the big thing. And for me, just to, if I went in right now and they came out with this fantastic new shoe called Shoe X, and they said, this is the greatest shoe, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, yeah, this is great, great, great. And ordered a size 13. Well, I don't know if I would wear a size 13 in a Shoe X. I think that was my one thing about Amazon. If I just went look at their website and then order it from there without any prior experience with the product, I would have to double think that. Which I guess will where the part would come in where they sent me 5 shoes in a box and I sent the rest back. But in that question across the hall there, to really say what the cost would be on that. So that's why I kind of shied away from that.
Okay. One of the options on there was that the store would come to you.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Why not, Larry?
I don't feel like I want to make an appointment, have somebody come to my house and show me something. I like doing it at my convenience. I mean, if I'm driving right now, if I'm going back down 71, I'm thinking, yeah, I could stop in Kenwood right now and look at shoes or whatever, as opposed to, oh, I gotta be home in a half an hour because the shoe guy is coming over. It's just not my style, I guess.
Okay, one of the other options was this membership.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what that concept meant to you?
It sounded like, maybe I'm wrong, but it sounded like there was kind of a fee to join. But I didn't get all what the benefits would be on it. Is it a discount card, or am I paying $10, $20 a year? It's kind of like, and again, I'm using something I'm familiar with, is the Shell rewards card, and I haven't had one for years, but you used to have to pay like $10, $15 a year to save a couple cents on gas. I don't even know if they do this anymore. I'm thinking, why do I want to do that? It's just, maybe it's my generation, but it's just not something I would do.
Okay. What if the membership was you paid a fee annually, and when you reached a certain amount of miles run, you got another pair of shoes?
Is that what that was about? I've seen it where a certain amount of miles, but I didn't get the feel of it.
No,
pair of shoes.
that's fine. I'm just going to kind of throw the idea at you.
Okay.
So you get a membership, and you pay this, and it's a set fee for the year, and then based on the amount of miles you run, you get new shoes. So if you happen to run a lot of miles that year, you get a lot of shoes, same price. If you don't run a lot of miles, then obviously you still pay the annual fee. But it's just based on how much you run in the shoe.
Yeah, well, that would be good for somebody that's constant like I do, because I do something every day. I mean, it's Planet Fitness or out on the street, one of the two. So that would be good. But if it's for somebody that doesn't do a lot, that might not be advantageous.
But for you, it would.
That would be, Now, when you say I would get a pair of shoes, is that free or is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you pay a membership fee. You never have to pay for a shoe the rest of the year. So as soon as you reach the point where the shoe needs to be replaced, they replace it.
Oh, kind of like tires. Yeah, that won't be bad. See, that's a little different than I took it, I guess. So.
Okay, that's good feedback for us. We can adjust the.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just read it wrong. So but I didn't get that out. I just, there's. I guess there's so many people now that want you to have their card.
Okay.
And then that's a different thing than the usual Kroger card or your Macy's card, all that stuff where you get rewards. So. So if I could get, if I wore a pair out every month, I would get a new shoe every month. Of course, if I wore it every month, I didn't want another shoe like that. If I wore it out in a month, yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
What do you think would be the drawback?
What the cost would be? I mean, the membership cost.
Okay. Well,
I don't know what it would be.
you tell me.
I don't know. That's a good question. I never thought of that before. Because getting free shoes is going to cost something. It's, wow. It's going to continue. $25. That's kind of cheap. $50. I don't know.
$50. Okay.
Well, that's kind of high. I don't know. That's kind of a tough.
Well, so
one.
the thing is, it would be like the moment you pay the membership, you get a shoe, right? And then the shoe gets replaced throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be at least the price of a shoe.
Yeah, that's on.
Yeah, so
that's what I thought.
Yeah, so you're probably. I mean, I would say the number would probably be around, say, $300 for the year.
Oh, okay.
And you're guaranteed to get one shoe, and then based on how many miles you run, you can get 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I thought I said I was thinking $50. Kind of
Yeah.
for free because they're giving away shoes. Everybody would sign up for that.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm thinking of cards I know. It's like they want to charge you a fee just to have it in your wallet. They're not giving you anything.
Right.
So that was a tough call. So I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know about $300, but a couple hundred maybe.
Okay. So, when you hear the word personalization, what does that mean to you?
Wow, that's what we were talking about over there. I say anymore. It's like they want to put your name on stuff, or that's. I'm going to the mall right now, like a lid store or something. They always want to sew your name on the stuff, or they want to sew. They have a sewing machine in there. That's the first thing that popped in my mind. They say, "Well, personalized." To me, it would be style, color. Because I've got some god-awful gaudy shoes. I've got a pair in the car right now. I was telling about them. They were the running shoes. And I didn't know at the time, but they glow in the dark. And the purple and yellow when they're, So, hey, they're cool, I've never seen anybody else have a pair of them. So it's kind of like something I would own, me personally, and I wouldn't have to worry about, hey, well, yeah, I got a pair just like that, somewhere else. But I wouldn't necessarily need my name or something on it.
Okay.
It'd be color, I guess, would be the main thing.
Larry, if you could imagine what that experience would look like, where you could personalize the color based on your preference, how do you think that would work? What would you personalize?
As soon as I said that, I'm thinking of something. And I can't remember. I've looked at shoes online. I want to say Converse, because again, I grew up on Converse canvas back in the day, and you could go online and choose your color or your shoe and things like that. So I guess it would be somewhere along that line if you did it online. But I would want, that's just kind of basic. 3 options or something like that, You want blue here, or yellow here. You want blue here or yellow. I want something you can just go whatever I want, you know. I understand the logo is going to be there, but after that, you know, if I want one shoestring to be red and the other one black, or no limits, no simple type. You know, like I guess I'm thinking of the Converse that I've seen online where you could just you can get this model shoe and it's blue. I mean, just the design, even like if I want to put squiggly lines in there, put squiggly lines in there. Something that makes it my own. Something unique.
Why do you want to be unique? Why do you want to be unique, Larry?
I don't know. You know, just so you have something nobody else has, and I don't know why per se. I want something that's kind of like my signature, and that's kind of the way I am now, limited. Kind of, I have some shoes that people go, oh my God, where'd you get? You know, you'll see them every place, but they're from a store. But I don't know, they're just different.
Yeah.
I don't know why I want it, but I like that. I mean, I guess because maybe I grew up, and we were talking about this, you had a choice between white or black. That was it. White, you want a white shoe? You want a black shoe, tennis shoe, or gym shoe, whatever you want to call it. They weren't running shoes, obviously. Nobody had running shoes back then. So the thought of me doing whatever I want is cool to me.
Great. Thanks, Larry.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Appreciate it. I'm just going to take a picture of you real quick.
Uh-oh.
So just stay seated.
I see Steven taking my picture, so.
A lot of pictures. Okay. Now you're done.
Now I'm done.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Great to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll look at your shoes. They're different.
Yeah, these are like what you said. These are just like black and white.
Well, I know, but it's still like it's not something you walk down the street and everybody's got a pair of Air Jordans on or something like that. You know?
So true. Thanks, Larry. Great to meet you. Take care. So just come in, just have him sit here, and then everything should be framed perfect. So you just need to make sure that this dial's on the video, which it is now. Okay. And then you just press the start button until you see the red dot recording.
Okay, so like press and hold.
Like this.
Or just click.
Yeah, see?
Okay,
Just once. And then once stop. So when you're done,
Okay.
turn it off. And then at the end, you can just flip it over, take a picture,
Got it.
put it back on the stand,
Perfect.
and that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cool. Alright, I'll be back in about half an hour.
I'm walking around a seat on the little green couch.
Okay. Figured that was my spot where the camera was aiming.
I love it here. And then I'm going to hit record on this guy. It's me. Alright. Okay, so we just did the interactive iPad kind of questionnaire here. What do you think? Anything stand out to you?
I mean, just the questions about if I wanted the shape of my foot or the motion of my running, that was hard for me to answer because of course, you want good absorption and you want it to go with how your form is. You want the shoe to kind of flow with you. But I think fitting your foot too is such a big deal when you're a runner. Like instead of having to like lace up the shoes and tighten it so tight and trying to make it work because all of our feet size and width and narrowness, it's so different. You can go to a wide shoe, but your wide may be different than somebody else's wide or narrow. And I have that trouble a lot with my feet. So that was a little bit tough for me to answer because I would love a shoe to flow with me well with my stride. But when it comes to the shape of my foot, I really want it to be really closed in comfort and light. So that's a big thing for me.
Why is that fit and that weight the most important thing?
For me, like when I'm running, I have to lace up my shoes real tight. I like them to be tight, but I feel like sometimes like the width, these are my running shoes, but I want them to be like kind of suctioned to my foot. You know, I want my foot to feel closed in and secure. And then I need it to be light because I don't want to have to work hard to get my foot off the ground when I'm going through my stride. I just kind of want it to flow with me. So I think it's a huge deal, especially with running. They say your foot is, a lot of barefoot runners do so well. Their form is so well because they're feeling the ball of the foot and the heel of the foot hit. And when you have a shoe that maybe doesn't allow that, that's kind of when your form can get off a little bit. Like if a shoe's kind of not fitting you right, your foot can kind of start to go out a little bit. So I don't know, it's just important to me. I love my Asics, but there are times it takes me a little while to break them in. And sometimes it takes longer than I would hope. Mm-hmm. Just because it's not fitting exactly how I like, and I'm just pretty particular. And then if it's a little heavier, I get a little annoyed, but I work through it. But if they could have that all wrapped in one shoe, it would be amazing.
So a shoe just for you,
Yes,
right?
just for me, yeah.
So it sounds like you just described like your perfect shoe, right?
Yeah, right.
If you could get your perfect shoe,
Yeah.
how do you think you would get it?
I mean, I'm sure I would have to have someone who I would prefer to be like, very knowledgeable as a runner.
Okay.
In a shoe, and probably as picky as I am. But like I told the gentleman before that I was with, I mean, I do think that if they like would allow you to like have a lace here that could kind of suction, almost like a small like little Ziploc tie that you can pull down. But I would definitely like want a string through the holes to go up to a tie, because the tie makes me feel like it's locked in. That's probably just a mental thing. But I feel like if it was just a Ziploc tie, it could easily unravel while I'm running, and I don't have to keep pulling it down. But I mean, I don't know if anybody could put, I don't know if I want to put the money in to have a guy like totally do my own shoe, but if they could have something where people could just buy one and it could suction, all the laces could come in and pull the shoe tight. I mean, you could do that. And any shoe size could fit, any width or narrow. I mean, you have to be a 7.5 or an 8. That you couldn't change. But in order to get it tight on your foot, I think if they could just make the laces a little bit easier to do that.
Okay.
And light and mesh and yeah.
So you said someone would have to fit you to make that perfect shoe. What if there was a company out there that used your genetics, like your DNA, that could make a shoe that's that perfect width and that perfect tightness that you like? How do you think they would do that?
Gosh, I don't even know. I mean, I'm sure with technology they'd have some type of way to do it. And if they did do that, it would have to be a shoe that could last me like a good year.
Okay.
Because I'm sure it's going to be pricey. But that would be a company that I'd be invested in. And, if you, like I saw in there about memberships, if I could have a membership with that certain corporation, I'd hopefully get discounts with the miles that I run, or they make a shoe with how many miles you run. Because I know, like, a lot of people, you got to pull out your shoe within 6 months because you ran so many miles on it. Which is, you're spending like, $300, $400 a year on running shoes. If you follow that 6-month rule. I don't, because I don't want to spend that much money. I usually do every year. But by the year, like, my shoe is literally tattered. And I wish it wouldn't fall apart so easy. And I do like sometimes think the mesh sides I love mesh, but sometimes they're not thick enough. Because by the time I'm done with my shoe, there's gradually getting small holes in it. And I have to buy a new pair just for that reason. The sole's still good and all that, but the mesh around it's kind of wearing.
Okay.
And that happens with every shoe I buy. And I do only do ASICs because I'm just kind of in fear of change and I don't want to take the time to find another shoe. But I should. I should try to Brooks or Saucony or all those other shoes. And I would if I knew that, this is a lightweight shoe, it's durable, it can last you this long, it can form to your foot. That I would do in a heartbeat.
If it lasted.
Yes.
So you didn't seem bothered very much by a shoe made of your genetics, your DNA. Would you be willing to give your DNA for a company to make that perfect shoe for you?
I don't know.
What? Tell me more.
I don't know. That seems weird. I mean, to have to give my DNA for a shoe, but if it was proven, and there were people before me that had done it, maybe I would. Because I do run so much. If it was gonna save me money in the long run, and it was gonna give me a shoe that I could utilize for a period of time, I might do that. I mean, that doesn't scare me too. As long as I had like a release signing that this is the only person that's gonna see my DNA and this is what it's for, then I would. Just because I do feel like. With injuries and getting older, I want to be able to still run, and I want to be able to keep the mileage up that I have, and I feel like a shoe really does make a difference in that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a big confidentiality release won't have to be done.
So the price of this shoe that is going to be, your perfect shoe.
Yeah.
And you used your DNA to make it, okay?
Yeah.
And it's going to adapt with you. It's going to work with you to make everything, you feel lighter, and it's just perfect for you. How much would you pay, and how long would it have to last?
I would pay $260.
$260.
And a year to a year and a half. Because that's a lot that I would be getting out of a shoe. That isn't going to fall apart. Like, I keep a shoe for a year, but I sometimes pay $175, and the shoe falls apart by a year. But I pay $260. I wouldn't pay more than that for a running shoe.
So it looks like you fall into the look like aesthetics category for a shoe. You have to look good.
Yeah.
How would you want to choose your shoe? Let me give you an option here. You can create your own shoe, design it, or you have an expert make suggestions, and you can choose your favorite out of those. Yeah.
If I could do that, I would create it.
Completely.
Yeah, I would like to create it. Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Because I don't, some of their colors are you just have like a 4 block to choose from, 4 different colors, and I don't love them. But sometimes you just got a deal because it's the only brand that you like and the shoe that you like, and that's all they have left. So if I was gonna go into having a shoe for a long time, I would like to have that creativity to color it. And I mean, I'm not too creative, I'm not too picky, and I wouldn't make it like bedazzled, but if I could like have my own colors and put it where I wanted to, I think if they had like a color block on a computer screen, I could just click and put it here and click and put it, I would totally do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally.
That shoe would feel personalized, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What does personalized mean to you?
I mean, I'm not that girl, but I do like I run so much to have a shoe that I chose these colors and people like your shoe. It kind of gives you a little bit of thanks. Maybe it's a little egoness, I don't know. But and also just because it's yours. I mean, I like specific colors, and with my husband being a coach, sometimes if we're at a different team, I like to have the team colors, and I can't really always find that. But like this last pair of shoes, I kind of had to settle on a color, and it was like, meh, it's okay. So it's, it's very bold, and I don't like that. But you only have like 4 choices to choose from. So it'd be nice to be able to just, if they can do all that, just to click it. I mean, even if it took a little bit longer, I could order it ahead of time. I would do that.
Tell me more about a shoe with alignment and ankle support. So you can mention previous injuries.
Yeah. Ankle support for me is big. If I feel like it's like rubbing on my ankle, because I feel like when I wore Nikes, it would push into my ankle and I would just start getting ankle pain. So I stopped wearing them.
Okay.
And I feel like I wasn't very knowledgeable in running at that point. But when I came to ASICS, I found the support in the shoe. It wasn't putting pressure there at all, or my knee. The comfort was just entirely different. And I think it's really important that a shoe fits your foot right, conforms to your foot right, because your foot can kind of shift when you run, and if your foot shifts when you run, it kind of takes the alignment out of whack. And I don't want to have to worry about like if my shoe's wobbly, or if I'm feeling room in my shoe and my foot's kind of loose. Like I literally have to tighten my shoestrings, which again, the shoe that I have now I like. But even if it's not tight, like I have to stop in my run and make it tighter, like because it kind of loosens as you go. So when they say break in the shoe, it's fine if I can break it in, but then it keeps breaking in. I don't like that. That's why I would like to have somewhere I could just like cinch it up, and it would just stay that way. But unfortunately, it doesn't. And I'm sure that's hard to it will be hard to do that, but.
And then last question here. Do you prefer or value a shoe with that alignment and ability to cinch down and keep you aligned, or the look of that shoe?
No, the alignment and that.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, over that 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. That was fun.
And then I'm gonna grab a photo of you here.
Okay. Oh, yep.
Actually, I'm just gonna lift this up because
Okay.
I'm not about to take it off.
Okay. Do you want me
It's not just that
here?
easy. You have to close this. Oh, I wonder if it has to be on the ground.
Oh, does it? I can bend down.
No, I just don't know how it works. Usually I come back to I don't know. Well, he just handed this off and I was like, on you.
Oh.
You know what? Let's just try it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Perfect.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm good.
I hope I see a shoe soon with cinches.
You did great. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Should I just head to the front then?
Yes,
Okay,
you're all
thanks.
set. Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to mess up your system. I was just, so you just got excited to be on the first one.
Do you do these things often?
This is my first one.
Nice. Welcome to have a seat here.
No.
I'm going to yeah, we're just gonna Alright.
Alright.
So we just did the interactive
Yeah.
exercise on the iPad. What'd you think?
It was.
Like things stand out to you.
So that's really just looking to see what the best way to buy shoes is from that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of what, you know, would people coming to your house be best, or going to people, or kind of what's important, what, you know, you pay for in a shoe.
Okay.
But
And it looked like your most preferred method of shopping.
probably going to a store.
Okay.
That would be mine. More. And I feel, at least for me, with kids at home, and it's more, I can spend more time at a store instead of having somebody come to my house and kids running around and trying to do two things at once. If somebody's there with my kids are running around, it's kind of hard to focus on one thing. Whereas if I go to a store, I'm by myself, I can take my time and make the right selection for at least what I need. So, but that's having kids.
What is that right selection, or describe it to me?
At least of shoe.
Mm-hmm.
The right selection of shoe for me would be something that I like a lot. A soft shoe, a lot of kind of cushion and bounce when you on your stride. I definitely don't like when you're running and like pounding the pavement and to really feel it in the bottom of your foot. So kind of a springy cushion in it. I like a lighter shoe that breathes real well.
Mm-hmm.
Good ventilation on it, because after a long run, taking off your shoe to a wet sock is not pleasant. So that would be my kind of ideal shoe.
Nice. And that's how you've been fitted in the past, was at a running store?
Yes.
From what Steve said. So you've had that process going through the fitting at a running store.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to repeat that going forward, choosing your next running shoes? Or are you open to the other options that were mentioned in the...
I'd definitely be open to it.
Mm-hmm. Which one in particular? There was that box shipped to you. There was
the box being shipped to you and sending it back. I'd be, if it's something that wouldn't be right for you, that I would definitely be interested in. I'm contemplating doing it with clothes where they'd send it in. I've never pulled the trigger on it, where they'd send you a new outfit every month, or but.
How come you didn't pull the trigger on it?
I had money at the time, and I tend to forget to send things back, and so would be charged for something that I wouldn't like, or and kind of the nervousness about if I forget to send it back, I'm going to get $100 charge, and where for something that I don't want would be my biggest concern, and then the frequency is, do I really need new clothes every month or whatever? You forget to cancel, then you just keep getting charged, and kind of like gym memberships, you don't go, but you keep paying for it.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting about frequency, right? So, what about an option where you ran, and as you accumulated miles, your shoes would say, okay, I've hit that point in
500
time.
miles, time for...
Now you're ready for a new shoe, but you pay an annual fee.
That
and
would
that's
be
all you pay is one set fee.
that would be definitely worthwhile. I think as far as to get me to pull the trigger, to know that you don't have to think. I wouldn't have to think about it. You know, like hit my miles on my shoes and a new pair come. I think I would be cautious about, I guess, the type of shoes that it would be. If it's the same pair or different pair or the new model of the old pair. Without trying them on first, would be, you know, just getting sent a pair would be, I guess that would make me hesitant. But I guess I would have the option to send them back if they didn't fit or you know, they just weren't comfortable.
What would a personalized running shoe?
Personalized as far as color, or
Let's start with that. Sure.
I mean,
I'm not looking at like what color is your favorite color. I'm just curious of.
as far as looks, you know, you know, personalization isn't super important to me because you know, I'm running, I'm sweating, I'm not, you know, gonna be impressing anybody with how I look.
Okay.
You know, personalization as far as comfort, I definitely would be more interested in. You know, because you know, like I said, I like you know, kind of bouncier, more cushioned shoe. Whereas I know other people like it. You know, they like to have some feedback when they run. You know, kind of feel the ground.
Yeah.
So you know, my shoe's going to be a lot different than somebody else's, but I like a springier shoe. So I think the customization that I would want would be worth paying for. But I think that'd be the biggest thing for me. Would be the comfort and the feel of the shoe for personalization, rather than style.
What if there's a company that would use your genetic makeup, like your DNA? Okay, they took a swab of saliva and could make that personalized shoe to your exact preferred bounce and cushion. What do you think?
I think it'd be
so specific
amazing
to you.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think that would be amazing. Definitely, you know, something that, because if it's molded to your foot, made personally for you, it's, you know, it's gonna be the most comfortable shoe that you know you had and give you everything you want. It would definitely be worth paying for.
How open are you to giving a company or research, like a project, right?
Yeah.
Your DNA to help create these shoes.
For me, I wouldn't be opposed to it because you know, I have no hang-ups about anything like that. As far as even molding feet or whatever, or DNA, I don't have any hang-ups on that, so I'd have no issue.
Cool. Last question. Describe what running means to you in one word.
What it means to me. Healthy. Probably the biggest reason I've started doing it was to be healthy. So.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. So.
You did great. And we'll stop that up. And then, can I get a photo of you?
Another one
against the wall. You're just.
Everest.
And this is kind of weird, so I'm actually gonna hold the tripod. Yes. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Very good. Thank you. I appreciate your time, Jan.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'll head out here with you too. Thank you. That there. And then you on the side.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Hey everyone, we'll be back in about 30 minutes.